The mobile, we are for Ken TV. We are for Ken. We are for truth. Justice for all. Bra na Pakwasi Amissah Atta, the late. May he so rest in peace. Aye Vice President, you know. Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia Bisan 170 economic questions. And then young Papa Honorable Ken Agyapong answer beside Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia the same 170 economic questions, you know. Yan say umrani yawo yan bra Frank Adani ewo yen chen ha yen ni bedi enkomo. So subscribe to we are for Ken TV. And na na first day awo hwe yan. Subscribe na me adoma no so na information bi ade beba no won so wati. Ya be ko ye bra ho na ni na kodi enkomo. Mr. Frank, good morning.
Good morning.
Pacho bibia boko.
Oh, Yankopa dom bibia e boko.
Abusiafo no so hoye.
Bibia hoye.
Yo, yeah, Vice President beside the late Amissah Atta 170 questions. And now, I don't know your Vice President. Yeah, Papa, Honorable Ken, so say, my man said the same 170 questions, no? Then I walk out the same way.
Yo, and I dear, my watching was studio.
Yeah.
Auntie, my fancy, I can see Emma. We are for Ken members. We are for Ken TV. And I Papa Kennedy, I compare with Agyapong, Busuya Nina. Na, Minia, me pese, Obi Biara Bete, we are for Ken for, as I say. Ye will have because of Ghana tea. Ye man peninda da President J.A. Kufuor, Eka Assembly. Or see, or ye MPP ni, or ye NPP former president. Nanso say ye kasa, yen kasa ma Ghana, ma yen kasa ma MPP.
Yeah.
It is her sem no wahuno. Me dia tumi trimu ye.
Ghana first.
Ghana first. Intimesre, ye constructive criticisms na ye ba be ye no. And I mean Kasabebre, a evidence based.
Okay.
Inti me pese, ye nyina ye bekwa kuti Papa Kennedy a compare kwa Agyapong. Bra odin sam no tudwa na obisa yura Vice President Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia say economic questions 170 odibisa the late Amissah Atta. May his gentle soul rest in peace. Ebi a questions you krana atete no dena ko wu. Inti you Vice President so once anti ahwefo producer video no ha fatum na ahwefo ne atifo enhwenti wi a ahwefo na nkasa mon pass judgment ma mon fase bia mo time we are for Ken mon pass judgment
duties are duty there are about 18 different taxes. It's unheard of anywhere in the world.
Who can accept?
Yeah,
you raised that concern,
of course.
Few.
Yeah, hotels are so expensive in this country.
Yeah.
Hotel charges now could wrap a down hotel room. You ask yourself, what am I paying for? I complained. Hotel for any maintenance, 17 different taxes.
I see.
You see, send me my way, you know, and I bonds. They buy bonds, I G. You know, the usage. So, send me a how would you pride yourself, said, when inflation, your interest rate is about 14, not a 35.
I see.
How?
But in all of these, you know, of course, Amon Fokikase, one of your contenders, he can't really be blamed for it because on your driving seat, you know, so you can't blame him that much. Only go for
you see, first of all, but there are no credit, there see account. Emrasa contender eBay.
Make Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia.
Obisa, Amissah Atta. 170 questions.
True.
I didn't know all the same seat. I didn't miss answer questions.
It's the Amissah 170 questions. Obiti me yano. But what should me yano?
I don't know. Because of late he doesn't even talk about the economy. He talks about digital.
It's about me fully economy not running away from the economy. On economy.
Maybe I want him to talk about it. I'm not saying it's our failure, but the way he was boldly talking about and criticizing Mahama and NDC government, he should be bold to talk about the economy. for Ghanaians to assess him. That's it.
Enti menua. Ene da ho no.
Yo. Ni nyina akiri no, ensi ye. Vice President ne dwumadie pa ne sen. Vice President ne dwumadie pa ne sen.
Yo, minim se ahwefo ne Ghana fo a etie me. Enim se Vice President position the second gentleman of the land. But ene evidence based because when him say me kasa bebre make several analysis ya na MPP for no fee say me say MPP party and na say me pese MPP co-opposition me nche ho no me pese ye be call the second lady ye ma Amissah Bawumia bra all can the role of the vice president.
Okay.
Enti ahwefo nso nkonkotie na obia make the judgment.
Okay.
Enya se me na make o na pom yesika kum yaginokwakuanum kwakuo so that horo.
Ane ne yere.
Enti producer fa video no so tum na ahwefo so pass judgment.
He's got the focus, he's got the mindset, he's got the experience in macroeconomics, and even as a general academician on the ejuma ne ye ena onoso ewo adwempa ne akomopa he'll bring it to bear. We are vice president. You head the economic management committee of the country. Into economic policies now will be driven by you, and I say will be directed by you. Into I know say he's competent in that area. He's got the focus. He's got the mindset. He's got the experience in macroeconomics, and even as a general academician on the ejuma ne ye ena onoso ewo adwempa ne akomopa.
That's the beautiful wife of the vice president, who now calls himself a driver's mate, not an assistant driver. You heard what she said. Said if you are the vice president, you take charge of everything, economic management team, the policies and etc. driven by you, as has been confirmed on Bawumia.com. So why is Dr. Bawumia running away from what has been implemented? What he said, he guided the implementation and shaped the formulation of the policies. This is what Dr. Bawumia said. He said, I have worked at the bank.
So I can see, said now the vice president position is very clear.
Yes.
Say you are the head of economic management team. Say onye say vice president and yet the head of economic management team. In Kayura vice president, me said the late Amissah 170 economic questions.
Okay.
So what you say?
Yeah.
So it is clear. Inti mesre minuanom MPP for no. Me wonye MPP ni nsana me do MPP, but Ghana first.
Okay.
Ghana first.
Ghana first.
Yes.
Okay. Yo, nyempesa me say bi say biem ni say ye hwɛ the whole scenario na. Ɛne ne Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia ekogina UPSC ho no mo ekokan ye na. Ɛfa position ya wogina as a vice president. Me pese me busa say na do danko agufo ado. Wa neglect vice president ana.
Wey minia Mr. Felix. Minim se ahwefo ne atiefo a etie yewura vice president. Bebrina esi omutirase. Na me nyina ha emmeka se wa neglect no anase onya neglect no. Ene ye production no ye evidence based.
Okay.
Enti me pese ahwefo ne atiefo enhwe videos ne ensema hodo a yewura vice president Dr. Agyapong Bawumia okaye.
Okay.
Bra na oye opposition vice president. Enti yetie sa ansem no nyina wie a na ye de atoto ensema oka no wo UPSC ho.
Okay.
Say ne say NPP president Nana Danko Akufo-Addo are neglecting no.
So neglecting.
Say on neglecting no.
And
yeah, atiefo be.
Okay.
The Ghana cedi has obtained the dubious distinction of being the weakest performing currency in Africa at this point in time. Interestingly, the NDC Green Book claims exchange rate stability as one of their unprecedented achievements. In an open economy with market determination of prices, exchange rate movements are the most important indicator of underlying macroeconomic fundamentals. As the saying goes, when in doubt, observe the exchange rate. The lesson from history for governments is that you cannot manage the economy with propaganda. In fact, you can engage in all the propaganda you want, but if the fundamentals are weak, the exchange rate will expose you. The type of free fall that we are seeing with the cedi exchange rate is a vote of no confidence by market players in the management of the economy.
Currencies depreciate when the fundamentals are wrong.
Right.
And the mismanagement of this economy in terms of the fundamentals is what was driving the depreciation of the currency. You can't be running double-digit deficits, double-digit current account and fiscal deficits, borrowing to this extent, financing your deficit with huge printing of money from the central bank,
right,
and expect your currency to be stable. The fundamentals will not support it.
Has the government achieved single-digit inflation?
Well, that is for everybody else to judge. My point
Do you
was
doubt that they have achieved single-digit inflation?
My point is that the single-digit inflation that we are seeing is not consistent, in my opinion, humble opinion, that it's not consistent with developments that we are seeing in the cost of living. You know, I mean, the single-digit inflation is supposed to be driven by food prices. So, you know, ask every, you know, woman, man who goes to the markets and ask about food prices between last year and this year and see how food prices have been increasing. My visits to the markets, whether it's in Malataro or Tamale or wherever, suggest that food prices are really going up. That is clear. I mean, in Bolga Market, for example, as I pointed out in my lecture, maize, a staple, maize, you know, where we eat tozafi every day from maize, went up by 60% within just the last year, more than 100% in Accra. I mean, you know, so the point is that when you look at the cost of living, you know, the benefits of a single-digit inflation rate doesn't seem reflected in the cost of living.
This is why we got into the IMF. You were spending too much relative to revenues, which is true. You were borrowing too much, which is true. Your external payments position has deteriorated, which is true. And so you ended up, your growth is reducing, which is true. So you ended up at the IMF. And the IMF would impose certain conditions, which is true. And if you don't do certain things right, the anchor will not hold, which is true. So I'm not quite sure what it is that is not true that I said. But I think, unfortunately, the supporters of this government and this government itself are very reluctant to admit the truth, even when it hits them in the face. Yeah.
True. Thank you about that.
I think,
okay.
Ono ankasa kasa for the economy no ho. Into criticism sa or the kama or kaye efa Ghana's economy ho. Na o de compare you vice president and sema or kan wo UPS ho na. That means utimu say
oni baby awoko.
That is it.
Oni baby awoko.
That is it.
Okay. The person me bisa say o hwe Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia position wo gina niema wo ye now. Any honorable Kenna o hwe o mumienu hwan pa na e disgrace MPP ana government na wo so sisi a
ha na mepese obi biara betie ni ye ye wo kromu ha na MPP fo bi mo sorry se Kennedy Kwame Akompre kwa Agyapong ye anti MPP Kennedy Kwame Akompre kwa Agyapong ogu MPP animase ogu MPP party enti mpanimfo no share that to delegate no ne grassroots for no team say Kennedy Akompre kwa Agyapong pe MPP asem Kennedy Agyapong ne nsema a oka bia no egu MPP na me bisa wa wutie me say Yura vice president nsem na okaye no eboa MPP anase egu MPP wa ankasa jeje mame NPP communicator Judge Mame ye wo kromu ha na ye wura vice president ye wura pon kroma kra na beka E11 sensem
okay
and no kra no you see vice president we are very instrumental in drafting of the E11 ye wura president na Nana Danko Akufo-Addo and so kra mesre say produce and fancy video no ntum.
Okay,
let's talk about one of the structures that you say you've put in place, the e-levy. A lot of people are calling it a stealth tax on people who already are impoverished. It's a 1.5% tax on people who do business on their mobile phones. So if they use their mobile phones to send money or to...
The digital economy, the mobile economy.
Yes, but you're taxing people on money that has already been taxed.
Is the biggest economy is emerging as the biggest economy in the country, and for a long period has not had any taxation at all. So it is important now that they also come into the net. Our country has one of the lowest tax to GDP ratios of any country in West Africa and of an equivalent economy. The ECOWAS area, the general average today, tax to GDP average is about 18%. Ghana, we're at 13%. So it's as if you're talking about a country which is already overtaxed, if anything at all, is undertaxed.
Oko BBC, na ye interview no. The President of the Republic defended the e-levy. Na waba bejina podium simpie so awiase nyina ehwel na obeka se the e-levy no oba obetwam na wonim awreho sama na ehwo so ka se obetwam no MPP mpanfo mo ho nyina no mo so ye obeka se wo opposition
mo na mkotena parliament
na mo je tu mu epenti NDC fo wo kromu ha Emma yehunu se NDC fo ye mamboyefo NDC fo mpe Ghana yeyo NDC fo mpe se be pass e-levy NDC fo mpe tax tua ena ye di NDC fo atempoto ene ese ye pa NDC fo chew.
Oh yes,
because ensema ye vice president kan no ese ye pa NDC fo chew na eye MPP fo nyina de ye wo kromu ha ena da betting sensem ebaye tax boys yo mutwa beti obia esu se adwuma ni ho eno na omode ye alala and bet no kura no enye sustainable job.
Yes,
as a youth or co betting more, what is the future of him?
Even when you scan on the quiet bet,
that is it. And Canadian company Agyapong was very firm to tell them say and ne kwan say yes so bet no kurumu ha gambling emrantia no ne adwuma ye ntia omo eye betting no mu enti yempa adwuma ma mrantie no na se mrantie ne nya adwuma ye osore ahemache na ote adwuma mu obeba fie anwemre ono benya kwan se otena se kra de ahyehyɛ ne bet.
Yes,
wote adwuma ma wo ye adwuma no obenya kwan se wo hyehyɛ bet
ho
enti se bet no posi bi mu betwa e be reduce na mrantie nso behu se betting no is not an option.
Yeah,
mo se Canadian company Agyapong say MPP party na omo okojina ba bia so defend the MPP party no ye bisa se ewura Bawumia we defend the MPP party
we defend go for the government
sa we defend o hwe a ono na ye head of economic management team wasanso ayiegu omo so say omo amma ne kwan okasa yemfa what downgrade the vice president position to the stand say wo dey employ a vice president wo ho kura hia wo Ghana
ni su say me be a vice president.
Yes, na even citizens ye kura yenye the second gentleman of the land yetimi kasa sa the VAT 15%.
Okay.
Yeah, we are for Kenfo ya na ye bo mu dawo ne Ghana fo nka so bo mu dawo say yempene MPP Nana B, national organizer, or your vice president. Or no putting another two me withdraw. Yes. Yeah, withdraw. Now, as a vice president, you have an advice. You couldn't tell the president. What's the na the a walk around so send me a driver's mate. insult.
And for so ni mate so.
Mfaso ni mate so.
Ufri akra ko enyinemu a cars ni mate ni. Enti say no person kan kire nsen vice president position faso ni so.
Faso ni so.
Yes.
Ehun
hia. But the only bibi. Matina ha no mo candidate. Wo minima ke bon komo na me cars asem we say. President Nana Danko Akufo-Addo. Omni option bia. Now option omo woni say. Omo Dr. Mahmoud Babia abeyi nsem agunu so. Even obedi na tem kro nkasa because they want power. Eno ho djuma no omudi ni.
Yeah.
Eno ho djuma because aye den na vice president pese obe address the nation. Na president nti ho. Ontu kwan yo. Ena me say me challenge yo. Ontu kwan. What must say? Gabi ochire da kun ontu kwan.
Sir.
What asante bedi etu ontu kwan.
Yes.
All the Nana Danko Akufo-Addo family members ni nyina omo wo ho.
Yeah.
Hwe this woman ne yere the first lady was surprised. Shana mama ni jina ona ni segunibo.
Yeah.
Oh surprising because e bia ni ku meka nsem ekoso nche but one trend them no ma planning said this is how we have to do the whole thing. Na Ghana for hu ni say wonya hwe me na ma ye bibi. Na fa power.
But sir say e party na ogu na ni ma say.
Eno de omo hu nka ho ase.
Because say we a party communicator wa hunu. You should bow down your head in shame. Na monko pakere di Kwame Akompre kwa Japan wa chewo. Hwe monko pakere di Kwame Akompre kwa Japan wa chewo. Na de yewra vice president Dr. Agyapong Bawumia ye no. Wo de yen che ho no. Producer yen konko tie nsem a o ka kire yewra Mahama. Bra ayi
omo power no
NDC obepe second power no. Na economic problems na economic challenges no. Wo de mwen konko tie nsem a o ka kire no. Na ye ba na yakasa. Producer Fatum.
You have presided in 8 years over the collapse of our economy. If you knew the plan that could work for the economy and be successful, why haven't you implemented that plan in 8 years? Why? If you know what can work for our economy, why is the economy collapsing in your hands after 8 years? You clearly do not understand the economic plans and underpinning the MPP manifesto. So you
Atiefo se matibi. O se Ghana mampani dada Ewra Mahama wonimdie bi. Ye di bu oman ye de ye economy ya aden na onye mpire
na o
twan ansa. Enti ye say otobo obodan a
esamba wa
eti
mi kra so me pese me challenge ni say so no so wonimdie obetimi ayi levi na se for na firi ho no mo eti me economy na gine yie ama ye fairness exchange rate aye yie this 1 year ya say na otimi be gina be kase na na do say ni seti on fa 1 year ni ma ni yenhwe
mini Felix winim kade say omo ye ma men kire this clue we dey MPP now just take it say mo pese mo portray you vice president Dr. Agyapong Bawumia na ma take some steps bi na say steps na nya ene kwan say oba be kan say de o kan ye no
apology
me always I blame omo trust script na dem advice
oh me pacho o mi twa no utie senior communication minister kana yes omo tena dem mo aye ho ene rehearse nyina
ma mentra mo kana dia compare kwa Japan nyansa na say kan so musi ye no Eriti American for lead international the amount.
Okay.
So person oba ni bie na ohunu nyansa ye de bu oman a fanako lead international. Producer fa number na to so.
Okay.
Ufri lead international wo poku ase amam from. E Kennedy Kwame Akompre kwa Japan of as for school. And ufri lead international ye kota kwansu ya yem.
Yeah.
Rainbow Montessori. School papa. Wo dem se fu wani kwa school no.
Yeah. Classic.
Me se opese oba be ye panim part se Kennedy Kwame Akompre kwa Japan. Me kan for the only two schools. Rainbow Montessori International, a day and boarding, and a lead international. Ewa Accra, Pukuasi among from. So what you say? Now, Nanka there so muyeni because the issue of the e-levy, and some taxes are or abano dia ba or peso criminal. Kasenko mudikani abane tenase. Nanko mu cancel all the taxes.
Okay.
Because COVID-19 tax. Because the COVID-19 has been declared dead and gone. And then that's the tax. 18 can say so my say. Can say common president tenase. be a president issue say me kokko kasa me bana metwam a yeso ne ye wo power enti anyansafo bi betimi abisa sa dan na yentwam enti nka yentwam
okay
wahu enti twa all the taxes ma obetimi aba say because of say Ghana for na musu say tax no ebrom so no
enti ye twetwa mu no
enti na ye twetwa those taxes no and the two ministers no ye nyanantiye say Ghana president Nana Danko Akufo-Addo ni ministers no doso dodo enti ye ne president Nana Danko Akufo-Addo nkura akasa munim say reshuffle beba oba be cut it down
wisdom,
that is it. And in our next government, party panimfo no nyina agree say
you be say
at least 50 ministers or 50 appointees.
It means collaboration.
That is
what
it.
You must say.
Now when bibi ma menka we nkyere NPP executive delegate for na mkoto abano. Do you know say you vice president promise you more appointment?
Oh yeah, I know what thing na so.
So baba tete so. Nti kana deja for be kase so what you bread fool. What you do so? You bread fool. Aha. Sa pepe. Enti nka wo yesa na what link the good work of the government no
to the
Agyapong project.
Yeah.
So what you say? Enti se sinto bi kura wo mu a bebre na emu hunu. Nti nha wa nka e wo amamu we num no wutimi me suppress no e ka ten down. Na fe na because na nsema a oka ne nyina no te say opposition leader.
Yeah, your mouth power answer.
Your mouth power answer. Me wa so
mo na more power.
Yes. Na wutie ye wura vice president no ankasa na num nsema o se aden na wo tumi na wonye no mprempre na je say your mouth tumi answer. So what you say? Enti MPP for na mutie me no. Me yentan obi ya. And wo sore we kana kura so ba bekume. Me bra bekume. Obi abewu.
Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, watchere ni weak points, watchere say your man power won't mean yahwe. Anze ma watchere nyina yesa.
Yes.
Me susu me nyesho se wona bo ken na obeba be guna na do Danko Akufo.
No.
There should be something that was saying kono ne beko. Se na do so onyi ntum no be so onyi ntum.
Yes.
Awu die ni bia wodi free ni ba bia wodi kokko wie. Watchere.
Yes.
Watchere yen say.
Woni bibi. Nanka SSA Yewura vice president enka ochire eniema poten de eha oman no so wa hunu
mpacho me ba me so na me say or apologize to the nation.
Yes,
some of the places o kaka nsem bia mamu.
First you have to apologize because ensam na wa Canada ni nyina wo ho
na what trashy
ni nyina because of that say going to IMF it means mismanagement of the economy and it's true. And some of can ye ni nyina about the economy no ni nyina ye true ya boni nyina matifu atie and now so a ye de ahye wonsa ukrampo eye west now the exchange rate o ba be kase Yewura Mahama na obefa no 1 cedi to 4 cedi 20 pesos. Also befa no 4 cedis to 20 pesos. Obefa no 4 cedi 20 pesos to now 12 cedis plus.
I got 13.
O be ka se wo de na ye papa sene. Aya mo men kan akra for one.
Ebe comparison.
Eti me unim MPP communicators. Omo yan kom so omo ya do mo afrem. Hey Frank. O buru ye yam. O buru na say okay. We dey some na me kan no.
Enye no kra.
Mu amonka. Unim omo how ne say omo say eye no kra de nanso na basa na me horo mo ntoma go wa abonten and that is their challenge.
Adwuma be no mo adwuma mo yema hwan omo nya adwuma ne magana
unim omo ya magana unim oni adwuma omo ne adwuma nsusu
me no me point ni say say me na we me employer na me adwuma at the end of the day no say me go kontare kire wo enti mo adwuma mo ya de magana.
Yes,
enti te na tie bia na say Ghana ehu ni ekoso enti say we ya say obi horo wa na say obi didi watam de me say
what after interview that this analysis because this analysis obia hwe na okokuti o ka say eish you are vice president no never pay odo hu no na mo afre me hey Frank in fact higher adai now say we have to defend the country because people are suffering. Me I used to say that I was very lucky to be in the public sector at least enya bosome so amegima katua. But what about the greater number of people out there?
They be bia e be show say bia no moji because wanyesa onidi. A lot of them they are not corrupt too.
Yes,
but due to their situation
sir
e bi wo yere ne ma obey ne den enti na mom ko ni sir
enti ye besre MPP for ye ntan MPP for nokore na ye ka na me de me se achia emu ye ye papa Kennedy akompre ko Agyapong wo ho say ye baba starte akyere ne vision ne trimupo and rabbit de bitu dwa wo de muntie nsem akene dia compre kwa Japan kae so be president obe na mo fa to you vice president de no oni hwe and moreover so wo ka say economy na grow inflation akofom we yakofom ani nyina no twa kosi say teacher for mo hotomo ana adwadifo mo hotomo ana nurses mo hotomo ana ukodwa so anema bo eden ana anema bo efo yasetena mu etese upon all the figures and jargons say if ever
also reflecting on your pocket
in the pocket reflecting in the persons so what you say abrochirifo ene abrochirifo esu ni abrochirifo na ya no mo asem ye me
asem na aka ni sei
abrochirifo
what me component bi
obi
okay
obi talk obi car o twa de sem no say frank car we mato bo fofofo me ntumi fa magana
ntumi fa ma
unim oso de car bi bae car no nyina no oboka ene ni oso to car no be say 10,000 Ghana cedis e wo ho
okay
obetua duty 50,000 Ghana cedis
omo mu ye car no
duty o nti ode yi car be si ho no car so say nti no oboka 60,000 Ghana cedis or say or ton 50,000 Ghana cedis or the other say wa boka car no da so si ho be si ne obi anto
skaro wa hi
be hwe no obi afra me frank me garage ni car si amatogu ho me ntimi mfa ma abrochirefo ye wo ha na yewura vice president say wa tete duty so 30% 50% na ye abrochirefo mu amosempa no kore
reflect
mutimi di contain about their monka
mutimi
yes MPP fo amwo ayi abrochiri no mo say MPP na mo pe na do dankwa na ye pe shirado utimi di o container no ba ko ye container na ye hwew they say wasanso be dada so be mo flat rate fote fita container and ye emfa hon and ye ma ewum mu nyina flat rate dollar no so no obepege krokro de john
ba we liar
so unim me say omunim wu a omugana munim wu a me say Kennedy Kwame Akompre kwa Japan wa hunu I believe and I hope so nyame na man ye ma we nyina asisi o
me say
Kennedy be ye president.
That is their conduct. I don't know when they change.
Now when the mama Afcon here by yetimi she obi just 90 minutes extra time na ni penalty here.
Oh yeah.
So extra time now December me say a day before the elections are Kennedy Kwame Akompre kwa Japan the din baba ba
we hope
me say just a day just a day Kennedy Japan me say the din baba ballot so
we sure for that
na ye tikura mu ha na yewura John Dramani Mahama no ye vice ade achi ye no ye president na bebre kura nim so ye president so what ya anything will happen but me can me ne bone so and nya ne bone so anything can happen
Dr. Mamun ba me ono ne ho ono ne ho
ntino
timu so opopo
sa eti ahwefo ne atiefo mesre mo Yeria for Ken TV there. Yo ha Ghana first. And always mesanso asre ahwefo ne atiefo se bia ye nkasa ye no ye di obi atemana se ye kan kasa bia ensem fata mpanimfo wedi amada Roma momfa nche ye. Enye ye pese bia ye beka kasatia akyire panyini bi ana ye bedidi atem. Nti always no nipa wa anofom. Se bia ye nkasa ye mu ye program mu ye kan asem bi na ye didi atem ne kwanse ye kasa akire panyini a we de madaroma mfanche ye ye nye sabio na monkoso ana montenetene ye na munkurakura ye sede mukura ye na no nyema bia ye ya ensem fata bia no munso ye mu we are for Ken ye modea enti wo nso so opese obeye program bia no just call us na ye no meye program.
My friend ye brani ya bill na say wo last submissions bia na
my last submission is evidence ye gu ho nyina no edi adanse say ye pe obi amana ba be Ghana mampani ama Ghana ye ho atoya sabari mawe Kennedy Kwame katachie kantinka Akompre ko Agyapong enti me say aka just 1 second na December 7th 2024 aso Kennedy Akompre ko Agyapong beba ballot paper so
we are sure
yes and obaso so we touch
yes
ane nti obi akara ko mantu no we be ma baba ko pe ozinsu ma sana wa
Mr. Frank nyami nshira
wo so
so pe bi na wato ahen ho niema opese wo ye traditional wedding no panyema de asiesie wo ho a eno ani Royal Gallery omo wo pe kuma off Kasua Winneba Road wo de hwe number na egu asie na frɛ wo na kɔ ho ma o ye good say ono obedi nkomo fefefe ne o pese o renti na de ko yo program ba ni nyina o de ma ebia mu nso me ka kire se o pe ba bi na obi asi wudan ama o pese o ye plaster board o ye acoustics o ye raised floor o ye concrete stamp ade biara fa dan ho no rekwan ho asem ka o de frɛ number na wo hu ase no yempanifo no obekasa na o ma okwan amu atimi anyanyama we nyina ne toso bie mu nso me kire o se ne bra Frank Dikan kan no lead international omo opoku ase amanfrom hwe o number no na from Sansina Rainbow Montessori omo so ewo takwa nsoyem so wo takwa area ho no mu a wo hwehwe o na oni omo tu anamon we na wo ba no obeba fie no wo hu sampa nyansa ye de beye mampani nyansa ye de koye nim no ebi aba ne tiremu everywhere mu nyame hira obi biara a wo hwe ye medin di Felix Asante sanso na wo pese uni obi din komo ewo we are for Ken TV a number na wo hu no foreign number no wo de frɛ no enkomo biara wo pese wo di so pese wo ye program ho a ade foforo bi na wo pese ana contribution bi na wo pese wo de ma we are for Ken TV ana bibi na ususu se wo nsam a betim de abo we are for Ken TV so a eno so tumi frɛ number na ni nyina ye beje wo so nyame hira wo ewo wo bra mo nyade amaye na wonka obi biara ho.
The foundation of every kid's education is important to every parent. That is why Leap International School is here to give your kids a solid foundation. The school that cares about its environment and seeks to transform it is one that cares about the education and well-being of its kids. The school has a playing ground, a bus to convey the kids in and out of school, as well as a well-furnished facilities and resources to groom the kids to future leaders. Not forgetting the well-learned teachers that are patient with the kids to ensure understanding is easy. They are located at Agyapong off the Pokwasi Amasaman Road. For more information, call 0246 928 031 or 0246 098 067. Be part of a school that leads, learns, evolves, acts, and develops through sound education. Leap International School, the next leaders.
School now batan biara de ne baro ko hono ni yo. Oye Rainbow Montessori International School. Yeah. Rainbow Montessori International School. What you from Kratchi? Because the JHS. The Rainbow Montessori International School from ana. What been wrong? What's the what the Montessori curriculum in a syllabus? No what the children are the teachers wo hona. When you know why degree holders what the abutana badoyan what the trauma from anadio. Na Rainbow Montessori International School. Wakitaba funyoman what the trauma from anate. It's your mama from an not doing boy wrong. Wakita ultra modern science laboratory, computer laboratory, library and research center, art and sculpture laboratory, hygienic canteen, now for a clinic. Na moye ni ka 1 point there. Rainbow Montessori International School. Oye boarding house. Inyo. Into onfahu baby awo biara. Wawo from anu batuma ba school. Onfahu de watakwa. Takrade. Elibo, Cape Coast, Accra, Kumasi. One boarding house facilities now. Oye modern standard. Na wo wahwefu papa. It's your house master and house mistress. What you want to a boarding house no. It's your Nisro biara. Bambo another security no so sure. It if wo from Anabra. The Ebehu Rainbow Montessori International School. E watakwa in Soyem opposite police station. It is said over by Rainbow Montessori International School. To what do you nada? Osan wo bat shana de papa. Emanazam sina. Wo charo 111. It's quite what mission forms. E wa Hantama Rural Bank. Watakwa in Soyem branch. Frayene 0277 100 823. Rainbow Montessori International School. Imo from a wonder china one fapim. Oshasi waha. It's a Hana Batan Biara. Ordinary from a river.